Okay, I'm again delighted to be joined by Alex Monks. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm good, Scott. Thanks. How are you?
Brilliant. Obviously, loving it at the moment because we're flying high nicely in the table. Good cup runs, but also we're back into scoring ways as well. How's it feel to be part of the team at the moment?
Yeah, it's unreal. We got such good quality and depth all throughout the team, so it's a really good team to play for. You look at the other teams in the league; none of them play as much football as what we do. None of them get the attendance we do. It's just we're just sky high at the moment. It's really good.
Well, I'd say looking at these last couple of games, I was obviously intrigued to see the basketball game and seeing Alex Monks come up with two goals and no penalties. I didn't know what to take about that.
Two absolute screamers.
I was going to say like
Uh,
two absolute belters. I think in the
yeah,
celebrations, one of them you were laughing. Um,
yeah,
I think do you think it's a combined distance of about 3 yards for both of them?
yeah. I can't take too much credit for any of the goals, but right time, right place, right time.
Absolutely. I'm sure your friend Kane will tell you it's all about being in the right place at the right time. It's not
Yeah,
how you score them. Um, so good to see that because I think it's going back obviously last season. I think it was against Evesham. I think you got a penalty in the last goal you
yeah,
scored. So it's nice to see that sort of going on. But more importantly, back in the side. I think that's
yeah,
something that's at the start of the season had a really good run. Then we'll go on to the injury at Melksham, but a little bit on the bench the last few sort of
yeah,
weeks. Now 3 starts in a row and playing slightly more forward. You enjoying
yeah.
that?
Yeah, really enjoying that. Making more runs into the box, obviously getting on the score sheets. It's kind of like I'm not the one who has to sit back and kind of guard the defense because Peck's been doing that role and he does it so well. He just cleans up everything. So it kind of gives me more license to push forward. It's more like a freedom role. So at the moment, I'm really enjoying that.
I'd say because I think when you first signed, which was you're into your fourth season now, I think it is, mate.
Yeah,
The You were signed as that kind of, I believe, as that kind of attacking midfielder,
yeah,
someone to break and push forward. As you say,
yeah,
your career went on with him, you kind of fell deeper and deeper.
yeah,
Um, and it was more spraying the passes around and let's say chipping in with the penalties. Um,
yeah.
so that move's been positive. Do you think sort of having sort of Riggy in there as well is aiding that, allowing to go? Because that Melksham setup, you were at the front of the kind of triangle, really.
Yeah, yeah. It's having him come into the team is adding experience and he helps me throughout the game. He talks to me all game. So he tells me when I can push forward. And if he wants to push forward, he'll tell me when to sit. He just controls it all and just, yeah, it's good to play with him.
So say that's you've got we're talking now just on the eve of our away trip to Totton.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in advance of that? Obviously they're up there in the league with us, another form team, but obviously cup big day.
Yeah. I think as long as everyone's at it 100% and giving their everything, I don't think many teams in this league will beat us. So like technically, I think we've probably got the best team in the league. We just got to play our own game, work hard, and to be honest, I don't think we really fear anyone.
Yeah, and I think that's the message that's coming through a lot of the player conversations is that you kind of feel like
Yeah,
it's on you guys to do your jobs and make sure it happens. I know that Danny's always been keen to sort of play down that to say that there is a lot of good teams in this league, and we've seen a lot of teams sort of going. But I think one of the good things that I've seen from the side and you've been part of is that resilience to come back from results
yeah,
that weren't going away that I don't think the club would have done in the previous seasons, like the Plymouth Parkway game and the was it Winchester? I was going to say Cinderford game. What side am I forgetting? Um, yeah, but coming back, is that something that you think is really strong in the team?
yeah, 100%. You can just look around the dressing room throughout, and there is just loads of ability all over the shop. Like you said, trying to get back into the team, into my position is so hard. We got such good players, and you just got to wait and bide your time. And yeah, there's just so much quality. So it's not too hard to bounce back from games as long as we play our own game. And Danny will not let us not play our own game, and he gets us pumped right up for it every game. So So it was good.
Well, let's say going back, and always like to look at sort of the players' journeys of what our players have been through to sort of get into our first team and the journey they've taken. Obviously, you were with Danny before, weren't you, at Bradford?
Yeah, for 2 or 3 years. We had some highs there as well. I think we went 16 games unbeaten in my first season playing there. Never managed to get promoted though, but yeah, Bradford was always good. There's a few players from Froome that was at Bradford, so we're all kind of like a tight group, and
I was going to
known each other
say
for a while.
I was Facebook stalking you in advance of this thing, and I came across a photo. I think it was sort of Bradford about 2016 time, and I think it had, was it Chris Peck, Kane, Lenihan, was it Ricky Scott, Dan Cottle?
Yeah, Ricky Scott, Dan Cottle, yeah.
And I was even surprised to see actually in the playing shirt James Moon, the old former assistant manager. I didn't realise he played in the same team as you. I know he's been very influential on a lot of the players that have come through to Froome as well with Danny. But yeah, so was that? You've been friends with them for a long time. How does that feel having all those part of the squad with you now?
Well, yeah, it's always a bonus because you know each other. You've been out on team nights out with each other, bonding sessions together. Me and Peck sit next to each other in the dressing room, always chat outside of football. So yeah, you just build friendships from football anyway. So it's real good to play with your friends.
So just going back before that, you started off as a youngster at Bristol City, I believe, and sort of from 8 to 16. What was that like growing up? Was there kind of an expectation or a pressure, or did you just enjoy it? Or
yeah, there was a bit of pressure. Like all through school, everyone was kind of like, "Oh, Alex Monks," and training 3 times a week, and there was a lot of pressure. And especially when you get released from these clubs, it's like you're in the deep end. You don't know what to do, where to go. So after that, I just went and played with a few friends at Winterbourne under 18s. And from there, I was kind of in and out of the first team at about 16, 17. Then from there, Bradford wanted me. So I went to Bradford, and on my first game for Bradford, I tore my ligaments in my knee. So I was out for a year and a half then. Then the first game back, I done it again. So I was out for another year. So I missed 2.5 years of football straight away. But then playing at Bradford, we had a really good team as well. But then Shanks left, who was a manager. Greavesy came in, kind of lost everyone, and gave me the call straight away to see if I would stay and who I think we should try to keep hold of in a team. So then we had that conversation. He brought in loads of players I've never even heard of before, Chris Peck, Dan Cottle, and we just gelled instantly. And we were just, like I said, 15 games unbeaten after the very start. Then from Bradford, I went to Mangotsfield for half a season to try and keep them up with Kane and his brother. We managed to keep them up, and then Greavesy got the job at Froome. Gave me a call straight away, see if I wanted to come along. Obviously, it was too hard to turn that down, and yeah, I've been Froome ever since.
So again, obviously, say missing 2.5 years worth of injuries. Yeah. And then having COVID kind of rob you of the best part of a season where you were flying. And again, it was kind of like, I still will always say that I think that we were nailed on to finish top that year. Yeah. I think the fixtures we had left, the way that we were performing and the form, we would have gone on to win the league that year. And then last year, obviously not really getting going. The FA Trophy was probably the thing that was going that last season. But how was it like as a player going through that kind of, for someone that's been injured for such a sort of key period as well when you were developing? Did you just think, oh, no, more football missing? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I'm so desperate to play because football career is such a short career. And obviously when you're playing well in a good team, it's enjoyable. And like you said, we should have got promoted that season, and it's just we're stuck in this league again. But it's not a bad thing because our attendance are going higher. We're still playing good football together. Added some new good players in to add more experience. And this season, you can see that we're really, really pushing for it. So it's good fun.
So is that your desire, obviously, to with Frome to go up into that Premier division? But
obviously I got relegated with Frome, so I want to kind of try and push to get them back up where they deserve to be. But I think even if we were to go up, I think we'd be, with this team right now, we'd be comfortable in the league above. So it'd be a good challenge for us.
I think it would be interesting to see how the team would get in the division above as well. You're 26 now, so in terms of aspirations, is it kind of looking to sort of get Frome back up and then stay with Frome if you feel like you found your place, or is it kind of still sort of dreaming of getting back up towards the National League?
Of course, it's trying to get as high as you can, but if I can do it at Frome, then my head won't be turned. So as long as we can get Frome at least a league above, we'll see how we get on from there, and hopefully we can try and push higher and higher, but we'll have to see what happens.
Absolutely. And you've always got a familiar voice on the bench calling out to you, with your dad being part of the coaching team. For anyone that doesn't know, Simon Monk's obviously part of Danny's coaching team. How is it strange, or is it just normal to you to have your dad involved throughout most of the sides you've been part of?
Now it's just normal. Ever since I was young, he's always had a big influence in all my football. He always wants me to do as best as I can. Sometimes a bit hard on me, but he just tells me how it is. It's not nothing to shy away from. It's good. He's a good laugh. I'm sure half of the team will say that to you. He's good to have around. Has his own little inputs. Helps on the coaching before games. Tells people what they could be doing different, just so they can look at it from a different picture. So it's not anything I worry about. It just feels normal and natural now. So
exactly. He's very well liked on the terraces as well. I know he can always be found in the clubhouse after games, and sort of good stories about football and good tales about what's happened. And but yeah, I think it's sort of great to see. So sort of just looking, sort of finally then really sort of looking at it like yourself, if you're setting yourself any kind of goals, so you got yourself back into the starting lineup in the last couple of weeks, couple of goals to your name. Is it something that you're now looking on to sort of set yourself any targets, or is it kind of just take it as it is? And
well, I just want to obviously try and keep my shirt for a start, which is hard because there's people just at your neck trying to earn their shirt back, which is understandable. Obviously, I want to chip in with a few more goals. I'm enjoying the role that I'm in, where it's more attacking. But we'll have to see. I'll do whatever job Greavesy needs me to do on the day. So.
And as you said, you're long-term friends with Kane. And this last week has seen him enter into the top sort of 4 goal scorers in the league. Do you think Kane's got a chance of grabbing that golden boot? Do you think he'll be able to sort of keep chugging those goals away?
Yeah. Of course he has. He gets so many chances in the game. He creates them for himself sometimes. As long as he gets a few goals behind his back like he has been, his confidence will just keep growing and growing. And yeah, I'm sure he'll get up there.
And this last weekend, we saw a couple of our development team players join the side. Have you seen much from them at all, like coming into training? Do you think this sort of positives of them coming through?
They come in training. They don't look out of place. It's always good. When I was young, I always wanted to train with the first team. And Greavesy allows that chance. They'll only get better training with us and playing with us. It's probably a bit quicker to what they play, but as soon as they get the 1-2 touch going, they'll be completely fine. They got good quality on the ball. It's something can't teach. So
and then we've got obviously the cup game this weekend, but Tuesday's the next home game against Plymouth Parkway. A very strong side, I believe. I think they've been unlucky with some of their away fixtures so far, because I think other than our draw, they've won every home game, and the away games haven't quite gone their way. But I'm guessing it's something the squad isn't taking for granted. And do you kind of are you looking at particular opponents now, or are you just seeing every game as they come?
Just every game as it comes, really. But obviously, Plymouth they're going to be a good team. When you could see that when we went and played them at Plymouth, they were well organised. They got on top for about 25-30 minutes, and it was really hard. I just soak up the pressure. They'll be a really good team, but we're at home, we don't lose at home, trying to keep it that way. So I'm sure we're going to come out fighting straight from the off.
Brilliant. Well, Alex, good luck tomorrow, and obviously on Tuesday as well. And yeah, come on, you're through, and thanks very much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Scott. See you tomorrow.